We are live. Are we live? Yes, we're live. Good afternoon, everybody. And hello, Aisling. And you have requested an awesome song here. So I'm going to play first verse and then the chorus. Can I ask you to mute? Because this is the sort of song that you're going to want to sing along to. And because nothing to do with your singing, I promise you, it's nothing to do with your singing. It will get a delay. Hey, where did we go? Days when the rains came down in the hollow, playing a new game, laughing and a running, hey, hey, skipping and a jumping in the misty morning fog with our hearts a thumping in you, my brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when? La 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 da. La 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 da. La da. There you go. That's the quickest I've ever played that song.
More.
Sorry. Look, it's a 15-minute show. I can't spend it all doing songs. However, and you've taken photos of me. That's my band T-shirt. So at 1:30, I do my live gig. So I will be playing that song in full over on my Facebook channel. Welcome, Aisling Magill. How the devil are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you very much. Thanks for the invite.
Well, you're looking very, very smiley. Now, the first question I always ask everybody is, why did you pick that song?
Well, I was looking at all the different songs that are out there on the list of songs that you like to play, and it was one that stuck out. It's a song that my dad always used to sing my mum, so it's quite a nice sentimental song for me, and goes back to the old family, you know.
Oh, fantastic. What a lovely sentiment. It's great finding out why people are choosing songs, so thank you for that. And that is my favorite song. Whenever anybody says, I like loads of songs, but that's my go-to, and when I managed to actually play it, that made my day. So we have got a few people already on. So hi, Odessa. She's been singing along. I don't know who this LinkedIn user is, but hi. I'm guessing it might be Jane Phillips, though. Hi, Teresa. Yes, I think it is. Like, there we go. I've worked it out. So there you go. So yeah, thanks for joining us today. So we are going to find out a little bit about what you do on LinkedIn. So how long have you been on LinkedIn?
Since about 2015, I think, although really I hadn't started using it as much as I do now until kind of the lockdown period, so the last couple of years.
Right, okay. Yeah, and then you've been on a little workshop, so you've been doing an awful lot more on that, haven't you?
Yeah, indeed I have. Thank you very much, Ash.
No, that's fine. So I'm going to come straight to it now, because are you getting business as a result of your activity on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I have done. I think even from the start, really, actually, people do seem to pick up on what you're doing, and yeah, I do get a few bits and pieces through it, and the kind of roll-on effect from it, I think, which is great.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully this will help, because people, I've got something up my sleeve that you don't know about yet. So, so I want to know, do you use other social media? Because obviously, as a photographer, I'm guessing that there are other platforms that are more into photos.
Yeah, I mean, technically I should use Instagram a lot more than I do. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it, and recently it's become a lot more about reels and about kind of being a bit more video orientated and that kind of thing, which is, you know, as a stills photographer predominantly, it's you know, moved away from what I like necessarily. So yeah, I don't use it as much as I should. I tend to use Facebook and LinkedIn more together. And yeah, that works quite well for me, because they seem to have more of a kind of localized base on the Facebook group, whereas with LinkedIn, it's much broader.
Well, it's international, isn't it? And so it's all very well popping over to Sidmouth to take some photographs of a rock star, but you know, do you want to jump on a plane to go over to America to take some photos? So yeah, you'd like to if they were going to pay you, I'm sure.
Of course, yeah,
absolutely. So what do you like about LinkedIn then?
I think it's become a really nice platform to use. It has become a bit more kind of user friendly in a way that it's a bit more friendly and it's a bit more personable, I think, now than it ever used to be. So it's more about individuals and about them and their businesses, opposed to just the business side of things, which is what I like. You get proper stories and you get to hear about people, really, more than just business.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the nice thing about it. And this is what's coming over in this show. So look, Mikhail's just come on. So hi, Mikhail, and Jonathan. We did notice that you were late, sir, but it doesn't matter. You're here now. That's what counts. So how often do you post your own content on LinkedIn?
So I reckon I probably post about 3 to 5 times a week, usually. I've just come back from Portugal, so last week I didn't do very much at all. But yeah, I don't do it every day. I am quite sporadic with it, if I'm honest. But I think it's more important to put stuff out that is a bit more meaningful than just trying to put stuff out every day.
Yeah, and one of the things I say to people, you can't just chuck stuff out there. If like you say, if it's something, I had a perfect idea for a post today, but something happened and I totally changed tact and I posted about something different. So that's fine. And then that post that I was going to do today, that'll be tomorrow or later on in the week. So there we go.
I think it's quite important to be able to respond to what's going on in the world and current affairs. Yeah. Otherwise, you can really trip yourself up. And I've seen a few people do it before, which yeah, not the best.
Well, I posted International Dog Day a day late.
Every day is International Dog Day.
No one told me. So what do you find is the best time for you to post your content? Because you said you were sporadic. So do you sort of like think, oh, that was a really good time to post, so I'm going to do that again?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to be that organised, Ash, but normally it's just when I've managed to get it sorted and get it up and out there. I think generally in the morning, kind of before 8 o'clock in the morning, is a good time to post, because that's when I tend to look at other people's posts and comment and like and such. So
yeah, no, that's cool. And but the thing is, you're exploring and seeing what works best for you. So that's absolutely superb. Okay, so what do you do? Because on your LinkedIn profile it says you're a PR and brand photographic storyteller with a love of nature and sustainability, helping eco businesses showcasing their people, places and products.
Catchy, isn't it?
It is catchy, right? And you've done all the photos for my website, okay, which look absolutely stunning. But there's a little bit more around it, isn't there? So tell us what you do. Explain the catchy title.
No, I think predominantly what I do is tell stories through imagery. So that's what I try and do, kind of promote people and their businesses and their products and their interiors. So everything that encompasses a business, I try and promote it through creating stories with my imagery.
Yeah,
it's quite hard to explain sometimes.
All right then. So what are we talking about here then?
Well, that is a beautiful staircase built by a lovely carpenter called Bridger and Buss, David Buss, down in Devon. But it's a lovely London house, which is very glorious.
Stunning. So basically, the commission came through. Aisling, take some photos of some steps.
Yeah, I mean, it was a whole house, but yeah, particularly that staircase. It's a bit of a sun.
It absolutely is. I love the lights on it. How long did it take you to get that shot? Because I just go in with my iPhone and just click, but I'm guessing you spent a little bit of time on that.
Yeah, I think with interiors particularly, it's all about setting up you've got to set up your tripod, make sure you've got the right lenses on, make sure you've got the right angles, try and get as much of an angle on the room as you can as possible. So it's lots of wide angles and lighting and that kind of thing to get things looking as sharp as possible.
It looks absolutely amazing. The colours are amazing and stuff like that. So that we go from a black background to a red background. What on earth is that guy playing there, and who is he?
This is a very famous nickel harper. This is Ian. He makes the instruments, so he's the only guy that's kind of dedicated to making the nickel harper in the UK at the moment. There's other people who make them, but he's the only one that only makes them, really. But yeah, he works on a few different things. So I got to see his workshop, and he's very meticulous. I can't remember. I think it's about 80 pieces make up that instrument, something like that. So all the little pegs and stuff.
Pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Again, a lovely photo capturing. You can just see he loves playing that. So that's superb. Anyone with bad skin? I don't know what this is here.
Oh, that's a candle.
It's a candle. No, you can put a candle on your face. It's fine. Everyone loves candles on their faces. So who's this then? Because you do a bit of work for this company.
Again, it's a localish company based in Devon who make eco-friendly soy-based candles that just smell very pretty, to be honest. So it's just another side of my business, which is the products, doing products as well as people. I'm sat in my studio today, so I've got a bit more capability now to do a lot more of that kind of work here. I was shooting before in my house, which was a little bit more difficult because turning the bedroom or the dining room into a studio and back again is a bit of a pain.
Yeah, and your guests are there just tucking into their roast, and you're sort of like, hang on a second, I just need the table. Is that the sort of thing? So we've got a gardener. He looks like a character, doesn't he?
Yeah, I love working with farmers because they are great characters, and you get to go to some amazing places. This was a watercress farm in Buckinghamshire. No, Hertfordshire.
Wow, that's cool.
No, Buckinghamshire, I can't remember now. But yeah, it's really interesting. It's back-breaking work. This guy's bent over all day long. He's sadly passed away now, this guy, but the family got in touch to see if they could use his photo for his funeral, which I thought was quite sweet.
Oh, bless. The sun is right sticking out there, and I'm an amateur photographer, and I was like, I shouldn't have the sun there. So tell us about that, because that is a stunning shot, and how it streaks across his arm.
Yeah, that's a bit of cheeky license with the sun. There was a kind of time when this was quite popular to shoot with the sun behind you. It just gives a bit of a different aspect, doesn't it? And it's a little bit more technical than shooting the other way, but you don't get your shadow in the shot like this. Just got to make sure you've got enough flash in the foreground to counterbalance.
Right. Okay. Yep. So you got someone stood there with one of those great big umbrella things that makes lots of light. Is that right?
Oh, I wish if I had an assistant every day, Ashley. Wouldn't that be nice?
And who's this then? And where are they? She hasn't just written a tag, has she?
No, she hasn't. This is in Taunton. This is Natalie Dyson. She's a lovely lady. And we did a photo shoot last year in Taunton. She was for a few different purposes. So yeah, we found a few different areas in Taunton, and this one I just thought was fun, really. A bit of colour.
So one of the things, right, is you came over and took some photos, and I'm really shy and I don't like being in front of the camera, but how do you cope when people sort of like, I don't want my photo taken, or I always look terrible? What sort of things do you say to people to help them?
People say it every time, I think. There's not many times when you turn up and everyone goes, "Hello, I'm so pleased to see you." But hopefully, it's especially working one-to-one is nice because you get time with people, and eventually they just get bored of me. I think I just take so many pictures and keep sticking the camera in the face and keep talking rubbish behind the camera that people just relax after a while and get bored.
No, it was a really great experience. So I thank you for that. See if we've got any questions. Any questions coming through, guys? Everyone's marveling at your photos. So there you go. I've saved this one to last, obviously, because I love my music. And it's Cliff Richard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
hang on a sec. I'm just going to get rid of that comment a second. Yeah. So when did you see Cliff? Is that Cliff Richard? I know nothing about music.
Not quite. No, I think you know who it is, actually.
Yeah, Kaiser Chiefs. So what were you doing there?
So this was a shoot, and in Taunton as well. Actually, we had a few Party in the Park music festival things going on. So I got the special pass, which means you can take pictures of the first 3 songs of each band, and then you get kicked out the pit. But it means I get nice and close front row view of all the musicians. So yeah, great fun.
That is cool. Did you get to meet anybody? Or do they treat you with disdain?
No, they're pretty nice. They were pretty nice, But if you don't leave after your 3 songs, then you do get a boot up your bum.
Fair enough. Because the thing is, right, is this guy here, Ricky, he's probably photographed an awful lot by Paps, isn't he? And so
everyone, I'd imagine.
well, yeah, I suppose you can't walk
Everyone
down the street, but you hear of these stories where these celebrities don't like the paps and stuff like that, and so at an official event like that, and you've got your little pass on, they're much nicer to you. Is that right? Because if they're not, I'm going round there and I'm having a word.
You don't really get that close, to be honest. Obviously, they're backstage in their nice green room somewhere, and you're out in the cold around the corner somewhere. So yeah, in
the pouring rain. It's not glamorous. It's not glamorous. But your smile today makes it look all glamorous. So so Mikkel's got a question here. So you see, when I walk down the seafront, right, there's a lot of people with all the gear, no idea. And so a lot of photographers tell me that the best camera I've got is the one that I've actually got on me, which tends to be the phone. But give Mikkel some ideas.
I mean, I think you've answered it right there, Ashley. To be honest, it's the best that you've got on you or that you can afford. I mean, ideally you always want to have a camera in your pocket, and nowadays we do. But back in the day, you'd be going, damn, I've missed it again. So always have you. But yeah, really, the best that you can afford, and the best that you want to spend out on a camera. You can spend thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds on gear. But yeah, if you don't know how to use it, then it's pointless, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you want, and it depends what you're shooting. So if you're shooting wildlife, for instance, then you maybe want to have an SLR with a big lens, so you can get the closer shots. But if you're just wanting to take pictures of landscapes, then you just need a kind of wide lens, so you don't necessarily need that. But yeah, it depends what you want to shoot. It's nice to be able to have a SLR or a mirrorless, which is what people are using now, with interchangeable lenses, so it gives you a bit more scope. But I think even with the iPhones, you can buy the little attachments now, so you can buy a fisheye lens or you can buy a telephoto lens to stick on your phone. So
some of these smartphones I see nowadays have got 6 lenses on the back, so it's that they're coming up with different ideas. The thing is with photography, you want to let as much light in as possible, so the bigger the lens that you've got, the better the photo. Is that right?
Not exactly, no.
Okay.
So you can control the amount of light that you let into a camera. It depends. You can get lenses which go wider, so you'll get like a 1.2 aperture, where some will only have a 4.5. So that will let you have more light if you've got a 1.2. But it just depends what you're shooting. If it's a really bright day, then you don't need it that wide. If you're in a really dark space, then yeah, you need more light coming into your camera.
And do you have a favorite lens? So say you were going off somewhere and you only had a tiny bag, and you could, when you turned up, your van was full, because you can. But if
why I got the van?
If you had to, I don't know, cycle somewhere, what would be your go-to?
I've just come back from Portugal, and I could only get so much on the plane, and I've still only got my little bag. So there we go. Can't see it.
Right, that's tiny.
Yeah, teeny tiny bag. So I had a 24-70, which is kind of a standard lens, which will give you fair wide range, but you can't get many kind of close-up things. A really wide angle lens, and ideally a telephoto 70 to 200, which is your kind of basic kit.
Yeah.
With those 3 lenses. So a widey from like 16 mil, 17 mil, something like that, to 70 to 200. And that will kind of cover you for most things.
Fantastic. and then so some people only do a certain type of photography. So they've all, like, when you watch football, for example, these guys have got these whacking great big lenses. So that's all they need, because that's their speciality, isn't it?
Yeah. Although you'll find behind the goal, they'll usually have a camera set up with a remote control with a big wide angle on it, so they can capture the whole goal.
Right. Okay.
So you get different aspects with it still.
Fantastic. You've been an awesome guest, because I knew you would be. I've got a couple more questions for you. First of all, before I ask the question, I'm just going to get this up. I've got this to go up, because I think everybody should log on to your website and see all the amazing photos up there, because it is fantastic. So please go and have a look there. It looks like I've got another question coming, but while anyone quickly comes up with some questions, what tip would you give your 16-year-old self?
Oh, I've been struggling with this question, actually, because there's so many things I should really tell my 16-year-old self. Maybe buy property as soon as you can and rent it out, and then. But yeah, I think it's just never stop dancing. That'll be my main one.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's brilliant. That is really good. So one more question from Mikhail. How do you find balance with life and photography?
Pretty good. I mean, it's, with photography, often it's famine and feast in your work life, so you can always balance it doing a bit of other stuff. And I think most photographers are passionate about what they do, so they will use it as a hobby as well as their work. So you'll rarely see a photographer without a camera in their hand, whether they're working or not, to be honest.
Fantastic. I don't know, but I think you must have been the smiliest guest I've had so far. So
I reckon Odessa can outdo me.
I think there's got to be something to being a photographer. Aisling, you've been wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, we've got a real life rock star coming on. Where's that then? You know Tom, don't you?
He's amazing.
There he is. There he is. I've just had a message from him. He said, "I'll be on in a second." I said, "It's next week, mate. It's next week." I've got to get rid of that question because, so this guy does drumming. So he's going to come on and tell us all about that next week. So guys, please join us next week. In the meantime, stay safe, be good, and we will see you next time. Oh, one more thing. I am doing a special one of these next Monday. And I'm going to be the guest. And so Matt Young is coming on and doing the question. So I don't know if I'm looking forward to that or not, but hey, that'll be fun. So Aisling, thank you very much indeed. Everybody for watching and joining in and commenting. Thank you very much indeed. And we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ashley.